Well, good morning, everybody. Hello. Hey, it's Becky from Power Tools with Thread. It is Friday, April 4th, and you are in our Stitchuation room. This is a Monday through Friday virtual stitching retreat where you hang out with me in here and follow me on my sewing journey and see my dog. And I hope I can inspire you to put something under the needle. Good morning, everybody in the chat. Good to see you guys. Here's my Frito. This is my little Frito. She's our little rescue. There she is with her cute face. Hi, babies. Hi, babies. Yeah, good girl. Dad, mama's girl. You want your little treat? There you go. Yeah, she's a good girl. She's so good to step all around the cords and not getting in a mess. Well, the cords need to be tucked back behind the long arm because we were over at the embroidery machine yesterday. And so I was stringing cords all over my studio. There you go. Bye. Go brush your teeth. Have a good day. She's so sweet. What a sweet girl. People come in here and they say, that is the most chill, sweet dog ever. Oh my goodness. Let me put these back where they are not a hazard. Safety first, right? Okay, that's better. At least if she's got some slacks, she can step over them. That's one thing I love about cow dogs. They're very aware of where their feet are all the time. Oh my goodness, look at all the hashtag power tools. Yeah, you guys do that. Today is giveaway Friday. I'm going to take my cap off my other. We're just going to kind of hang out in here. I got a few things to show you guys. Let me turn this so you can see what's going on. Make sure I've got my button with my handy dandy little remote. I've got it together, believe me. I do. So you miss your beagle, Patsy? You know, I had a beagle. Her name was Charlene. Oh my word, that dog was noisy. Oh, she was crazy noisy. Crazy noisy. Happiest of Friday, Leslie. I know. Isn't that nice? So yeah, we do a giveaway on Fridays. I'm glad you guys are here for that. We always have the most folks show up on Fridays, and that's always a lot of fun. So this week, Wednesday, we did scan and cut to cut out all of our applique pieces on this cute little mini wall hanging from the Bunny Knoll book of On Wander Lane, which is adorable. And yesterday, we got it all stitched out onto the fabric. Now it needs a backing and some binding, and that is the plan for today, to do that in our hour that we've got today. We were planning on going to the coast. We have a little place down in Port O'Connor, Texas, but looks like it's going to rain all weekend. So here's a Power Tools with Thread mug. Pretty cool. You want to get one of these? They're at Bee Inspired Tees, BEE Inspired Tees.com, and she gives 15% off to my viewers if you come in on my link below in the description box. That's where you can get Power Tools with Thread merchandise. So yesterday when we got finished, one of you eagle-eyed people said, looks like you're missing some stitches on the belly of the little top chick. And there was even a little discussion on the Facebook group last night. I wonder if Becky's going to fix that. Now, oh, I hit that. I'm sorry. I got to learn to quit. We did a little Embrilliance stitching class yesterday at the end of that video to say, okay, why did that happen? And that's one of the things. I'll show you guys what I mean. And yes, I fixed it. Let me zoom you in so you can see what I'm talking about. All right. This little chick right here at this point, from here to here, it was missing the yellow stitches. Look at that fix. How perfect is that? If you can tell that wasn't done originally, Janet says, I knew you'd fix that. If you can tell that's not original to the design, then you win a big prize, because I think it's pretty spot on. But the question was at the end of the show yesterday, then why did that happen? And the short answer is stitch order. When I looked at it, when you're looking at it on the screen, because I snap-appliqued this, and if you're brand new, hi, welcome. And snap-applique is the process of taking a paper pattern and then converting that into a machine embroidery design, a paper applique pattern, and converting it into a machine embroidery design. Paper or plastic template, as in the case of Lori Holt's So Simple Shapes, or you might have pre-cut laser pieces, like if you're doing a block of the month from Stitch in Heaven or something like that, and they send you those pre-cut laser cut pieces. You can scan those into the scan and cut as well, and it will create the outline for the shape, and they will fit perfectly, which is wonderful. So you can embroider that stuff down instead of doing it by domestic machine, which is a game changer, my friends, and it just brightens your whole stitching world. For those of you who've been sewing since Christ was a corporal, okay, it's something new, and your brain goes, oh, look, I can do something new in my world, and it is so much fun. And I've turned a few of you into little monsters on this stuff, but that's great, isn't it? Anywho, so the issue was stitch order. So when you're looking at it on the screen, which it's over on my other computer, I don't have it here on my MacBook. It's a flat line drawing with little blanket stitches. It just looks like two pieces with blanket stitches of lines. And it's really hard to tell which one, you know, chicken or the egg, right? It's hard to tell which came first, the chicken or the egg. I love that. Oh, I'm so funny. That just came to me bright and early. So what happened was, in the line drawing, in the objects panel, the chick was before the egg, I think. Anyway, so the software removed what it thought was hidden stitches. Okay. Well, the chick should have been after the egg. So Dave wants to know if Frito got her special treats. Well, Sharon, I'll give her special treats. I don't have them in here with me now. He's very sweet. Hi, Diane. How's Italy? Enjoy, my friend. So anyway, you guys are hashtag power tooling, and you want to know what you're going to win? You want to know? U.S. shipping only, please. Sorry, Diane. How about a mini layer cake? Yay. This is Love Blooms by Layla Boutique for Moda. I have met this young lady, Vanessa, and she's the sweetest thing ever. I met her at Market in Houston. So very nice. A Love Blooms mini layer cake. Hashtag power tools to win. U.S. shipping only, please. I need to do another one. I'm going to do another giveaway. Hold on a second. Let me set it up and get this going. This one. And I'm going to choose our live stream, and let's do all right. So I'm going to do 2 giveaways today. We've been talking a lot. I'm in the process of doing the quilt called Things Above. That it's a kit by Moda, and it has the pattern in it called Firm Foundations, and it uses a panel from Things Above. And a viewer Christy ordered it when she didn't need it. And you guys don't send me stuff, please. Please don't send me stuff to give away. Please don't do that. All right. But she did, and I don't need it in my studio. So I'm going to do this. So here are 2 of the panels for Things Above. Okay. So if you want this, again, U.S. shipping only, please. Hashtag panel. And there's 2 of them in here. I believe I have not opened it. Let me open it and make sure. Because if you're making the kit and you want it, or whatever, maybe you just want something free. I don't care. That's on you. It looks like there's 2 of them in here. So thank you, Christy, for sharing that with me to share with my viewers. Okay. But you guys, please don't send me your extra stuff. Don't do that. Okay. I'm doing it this time because I don't want it in taking up space in my, it's 2 of them. Okay. So hashtag panel if you want it. Yeah, you guys, I don't have the bandwidth. And if you send me things and I don't give it away, that means I got rid of it. And it was probably donated to something. It went into the donation bin. So if it's going to go in a donation bin, put it in your own. Okay. You guys, I don't have the space in here for this, but this is a current line of fabric. And I know we've been talking about it, and thank you, Christy, so much for sharing it. So, because now I got to pay shipping. That's the big reason right there. I'm cheap. I want to save my money for my fabric. But it's a good giveaway for you guys. So we're doing hashtag power tools for the mini layer cake, Love Blooms by Layla Boutique from Moda. Okay. And hashtag panel if you want the things above. It's 2 of them. Okay. These things run like, I don't know, what are they? 10, 12 bucks a piece. It's a good deal. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Christy. I found the things above quilt kit and panels at a shop called Lulu's Fabric Shop. Unfortunately for me, I misread the label for what was included in the kit. Fortunately for you and your viewers, I now have 2 extra panels that I won't be needing. If you would like to offer them to a lucky viewer, she said, I'll send them free to you or the viewer. Well, she sent them to me, so I'm going to send them to you. Anyway, lesson 1 being read instructions, and read instructions, right? Yeah, that's funny. I know. I never buy anything twice. Do you? Leave me a comment below if you've bought something twice and it was a big purchase and you're like, what was I thinking? I'm not sweet, Vicky. Michelle Moore, she's so funny. She says, I really like YouTube, Becky, but when I meet in person, Becky, she's a little different, but I like her too. Yeah. Not panels, plural, just panel 1, panel singular. Okay. In July 2nd, we are taking off on our big around the middle of the United States trip, everywhere from Colorado to Tennessee and Alabama and everywhere in between. I'm going to be teaching workshops, snapplique workshops at guilds and dealerships and whatnot. But on that trip, I'm going to be doing a sew along for a Christmas quilt. And I talked about this a couple months ago. So for those of you that want to do it with us, gosh darn it, I don't have the panel or the pattern at hand. It's somewhere in my stash. But it's a Christmas tree. And it has a little bit of snapplique in the bows on the packages. But if you want, oh, here's a picture of it right here. Duh. So you can use your own stash. That was the whole point, for it to be a stash buster. But there is a kit available at 2 Chicks Quilting in Ganado. I have a link to it below in the description box. Fabric kit does not include the pattern. The quilt top will measure 63 by 81. So this is a great project. Let's zoom in and look at it. This is going to be a sew along that I'm doing while I'm on the road in July. And we'll do a couple of rows a day. And we're going to finish up this quilt in July. Okay, so take a look at the packages. Those little bows, those are little snapplique bows. Isn't that cute? So we'll be doing that too. All right. Let me back up here. This is a fairly easy pattern, right? It's just squares sewn together. We've got a few angles in the tree, but not much. Most of it is squares. Good quilt for a beginner, if you are a beginner quilter. And the kit from 2 Chicks Quilting is fantastic. Here it is. Look at this. Isn't that just pretty? Full of reds and greens. If you go to the description box and it says more, ... below the video, or ... more something, click that, jump down, and it might be in featured items, or it might be, I don't know, but it's down there somewhere, and it'll say it is called the quilted Christmas tree is what it's called. Okay, so we're going to do all this together. So you've got a key right here to tell you right there, these are your fabrics for your gifts. So it gives you a picture of what fabrics are going to be for your gifts, which ones are for your ribbons and bows, what is your border, what is your tree, what is your background, and your star. Okay. So if you want to get, oh, and the binding, y'all, is adorable. Look at this. How cute is that binding? Oh, that is so, so cute. Oh my goodness. This is adorable. So they label your fabrics. All right. I love it. Here's the little bundle of the gifts. Isn't that pretty? Look at that. Pretty fabrics for your gifts. I love kits too. I don't have to pick. That makes me so happy. So, so happy. And what's really nice is, this is where I run into trouble, is I run into trouble with fabric values, meaning all of these reds and all of these greens really kind of go together, right? They're the same value. They're saturated reds and greens, as opposed to all these different colors or different values of reds and greens. So even the binding works with what's in here, and I love it. So if you want to do this with me, we're going to be in the motorhome in July and August, but I hope by the end of July, we're going to have this done. Now I'm going to cut it before we go, okay? So that I've got everything on in a Yazzie bag, right? All organized on trays and all of that and ready to go. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I'm very excited about getting this. I've got, the whole point was to get rid of the reds and greens that I have, but I don't have enough reds and greens of the same value to make it work. Will it work if they're all willy-nilly? Sure. But I thought that was cool. So it's called Quilted Christmas Tree. I have a link to the pattern and I have a link to the kit. The pattern is a download from Etsy. Okay. And then the kit you can purchase at Two Chicks Quilting, and it's down below. And if you go to twochicksquilting.com, I'll show you where it is. So if you can't find the link or whatever, and you use it, I still get credit for it, but I want to show you guys twochicksquilting.com, how you can find that kit. I'll go to present and share screen. All right. So here it is. Two Chicks Quilting. This is in Grenada, Texas. All right. And they have fabrics and kits. And if you hover over it, you can come down here. Come over here. There is power tools with thread. How cool is that? Right? Click on that. And here are the things that I show on my channel. All right. So here it is right here. Pre-order. So you can pre-order the kit and then they will get it to you. So they're going to get you what you need, right? And they say pre-order so that if they run out of fabric, they know how much to order. But we're going to start doing that in July. Oh, congratulations, Karen. She's a new great grandma. Good for you. Yay. What a blessing. Praise Jesus. That's wonderful. You found it. Okay. So that'll give us something to do when it's really hot outside in July. We're just going to be cutting, or not. I'm going to cut it before I go, but we're just going to be stitching squares together and we'll stay right on track. So I'll come up with a schedule and all that and probably get it out on my blog. All right, folks, for you embroidery peeps, I love Dimes, Designs and Machine Embroideries, print and stick target paper. One of the problems with Dimes print and stick target paper, where did I get my On Wander Lane fabric? I think I have a link to it below, Barb, in the description box, because I've got it up there all year long while I'm making these. I got it so long ago, I don't know, but I do have a link to it below. So one of the issues with the print and stick target paper, and the whole point of that is for you to take an embroidery design and print it, and it comes out on the sticky paper, and then you can align the sticky paper on your project, and it resticks and resticks forever and a day, but it allows you to find zero center when you're getting ready to stitch, and then you can get your start, especially when you're doing edge-to-edge quilting for sure. Well, they've only had regular 8.5 by 11 papers. They have come out with, and I have a link to it below as well, legal size. So for those of you with ginormous hoops, here you go. They've got it in a legal size now, print and stick target paper. So very, very good. Love this. Did y'all get in your new Connecting Threads catalog? Y'all, that's like eye candy on paper. I love it, love it, love it. So yeah, I've got a link to this below if you want to order it for your larger hoops, because before you were having to print two and then tape them together and match up the lines and all that. Now you're good to go. Okay. Okay. Again, hashtag panel. If you want to get the things above panels, there are 2 of them. US shipping only, please. Hashtag panel. And hashtag power tools for the mini layer cake from Layla Boutique. Can I show you how to use print and stick target paper? Ruth says, yay! I've been waiting for that. All you do is, now I like to do the individual feed on my printer, okay? I'm not a fan of using the standard paper tray, but I use the individual feed. Okay, it's shiny on one side and flat on the back, right? And you just print on this piece, okay? And then what it has, you peel this. So this is very sticky, okay? And it will stick and stick many times on your fabric. So the idea is once your pattern is on here, now you can place it exactly in your hoop where you want. And then it's got a crosshair because your design, it printed the crosshair. Now you know where center is, and you can align your needle with the crosshair in the center, and you're off to the races. So it's a great, I have used templates for years and years, especially as a beginner. When you're doing a project that is not in the hoop, like construction, like we talked about, if you're doing so here they have a really good picture. Here is some background quilting in that hoop. See that? It's got background quilting in there. That's what it'll look like. And that's how you figure out where your background quilting is going to go. So I like to line up the very end of the background quilting design with the last pass where, stitch number 1. Anyway, I'm not doing a project, so it's hard to do it, right? You got some of this? Yeah, it's good stuff. How big are the blocks on the tree quilt? You have a jelly roll of reds and greens. That won't work. That won't work. It's a good quilt pattern for charm packs, jolly bars, and layer cakes, okay? You need at least 5 inches, I think. But a jelly roll won't work. Oh, good. Leslie got the Christmas kit. Yay. It's your first kit. Yes, you can do it with me. Absolutely, you can do it with me. Yeah. So before we go, we'll take some time before, it'll be like the end of June. I'll go ahead and get it cut. All right. We'll do fabric prep, and we can do that together. Power tools is all one word, Shirley. Okay. Power tools is all one word. Good. The link worked for the pattern. Excellent. And it is a good stash buster. Gather your reds and your greens and your creams or whites or whatever you want. That'll work. As I said, I got this one. Now, I don't have a link to this below, so I don't want to show it to you, but I'm going to because I can't stand it. I need to put it away. Nancy Halverson came out with a new fabric line. She is the owner of the Art to Heart on Wander Lane stuff. And I wanted to see this. So She's got a new book out called Autumn Breeze. I need to link to it. I didn't do that. I will link to this stuff right after we get off this video, you guys. So it has this quilt right here, and on the back, they have another one that says, Hello, Autumn. A couple of owls and some pumpkins and sunflowers and whatnot. I don't have enough fabric to create all of this. I might do like a smaller quilt, make it just a little bit smaller. This is not, the only thing applique in this is the Hello Autumn. This is a pieced quilt, just FYI. Okay, so I got, this is Hello Autumn by Benartex, Nancy Halverson for Benartex, okay? And I got a 10 by 10 set of 10 by 10 squares of it, okay? And then I got some half yards, I believe, of various parts and pieces of it. Did I get half yards? No. Quarter yards. Some whole yards, some quarter yards. So I got some pieces of it. Not sure what I'm going to do. Where do you sign up for the Americana quilt block by Lori Holt? I bet you can check the Fat Quarter Shop, Karen. I don't know. I'm not doing that one. I got enough on my plate. So anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know I got that. I will link to it below. I was kind of disappointed. I was hoping that the owls and the fox, which are super cute, like that fox, that's adorable. You know, you could do, you know, just the owls and the two little leaves, or you could, you know, do the owls and put some blocks together and make your own, like a little. No, I'm not doing the Americana quilt along. No. Nope, not right now. But I was hoping these were applique, and they're not. They are pieced quilts. I love it too. It's super cute. I love the fabric line. I love all things autumn, just as adorable as it can be. Okay, so that's all the show and tell I had for today. That's all I wanted to show you guys. Where'd I get the fabric for it? I'll link to it below, Jane. When I get done with here, I'll link to it below. I didn't put links. I will. Yeah, do a hashtag panel to get the 2 of the smaller printed things above. This will work in the things above quilt kit by Moda. Okay. Can you change it to applique? No, Joan, you cannot. I mean, you could find some owls online and draw your owls, whatever. You could do that, but no. I was a little disappointed. I was hoping it was applique because that's what she's kind of known for, but it didn't work out like that. All right. And then hashtag power tools for a mini layer cake, Love Blooms by Layla Boutique for Moda. Cool. US shipping only, please, on these. Okay. All right. Good. And what is this? Ah, cool. A little Quiltaholic from Lulu's Fabric Shop sticker. All righty. So I need to get the backing and the binding set up for this little guy right here. All right. Newly retired, Margie. Congratulations. Do I sew over the weekend? I will. Yes. Because, like I said, we were going to go to the coast this weekend, but it's going to rain. Okay. She's like, what's going on? Hashtag panel. I might want it. I love that. Okay. We're going to turn around and go over to the ironing station and the cutting table. And I'm just going to show you how I'm going to get ready for this. So this thing is 6.5 square. So I'm going to put together an 8 by 8. Hold on, you guys. We're taking a spin. Hold on. I'm going to put together an 8 by 8. Darn it, these cords. I hate cords. They hamper me no end constantly. Okay, there we go. All right. So I've got this red gingham fabric that I don't like. Okay. So that's going to be my backing. That's the way I do that. And I'm just going to rough cut this because it's going to get trimmed anyway. So I need to get it pressed and whatnot. So I'm just going to give myself a little extra like so. And this is going to allow for attaching the backing. I don't know why I have this fabric. I take extra fabric that I have from when I'm long arming. That'll be old scraps or whatever, fabric I don't like. And those are backings usually for wall hangings because nobody sees it. Nobody cares. If it's a quilt, I care about the backing, you know, that's going to be seen. But this one, nobody will see it. Okay. So I'm going to press this just a little bit. And then I need to press my, this is going to be my binding on the quilt, on that little mini quilt. So I think I need 2 strips of this. Okay. So I'm just going to get this pressed out. When I press, I only press with the grain or across the grain, never diagonally. I'm not doing this on the bias. All right, that'll do me. That's all I need. Easy. We're just going to do some binding. That's a good idea. Use your pre-cuts for charity quilts. Yeah, that's a great idea. Okay. So I'm going to do, on a quilt, I'll do 2 1/4 inch strips, but this little wall hanging is so small and my hands aren't feeling good today. So I'm going to do 2 1/2 inch strips. I like a little bit more narrow binding on the back of quilts, but this is not cut straight. I don't think either that or I don't have it straight. That's probably what it is. I'm putting the selvage even with a line. Well, that's fairly straight. Okay, I'm going to do 2 1/2. All right, and one more. On these little wall hangings are so small. Oh, also, I need a 6-inch square of the backing for the hanging triangle. So this is 6 1/2. Actually, I need a smaller one. So this is 6 1/2 right now. It's going to finish at 6. Okay. And so I'm going to cut a 5-inch square to make my hanging triangle. This is Tidings of Great Joy by J. Wrecker Frisch. I don't like it. I usually like her stuff, but I don't like this. Okay. So I need a 5-inch square. Whoop, wrong ruler. There we go. I'm going to do it selvage and all because it doesn't matter. You're not going to see it. Okay. And that gives me an extra 1/2 inch. If this thing finishes at 6, that gives me an extra 1/2 inch on either side so I don't get bulk in my corners. Okay. All right. This is just a Teflon sheet holding my horribly scorched ironing. It's hiding my horribly scorched ironing surface. It's terrible. Okay. So I just fold it and fold it again. See, so not going to see it, but that will allow just that little bit. It'll hang on that little wall hanging star deal behind me. Okay, there we go. So there's my hanging triangle. Good. And my binding strips. All right, and we are ready to go back over here. This is my life, you guys. This is what I do. Can you edge stitch the short sides of the hanging triangle this time? Why, Dave? Nobody sees it. Darn it. Cords. Oh. Okay. I don't want to. Turn my thing. Okay. Oh, why can't everything in my life be wireless? I would love that. Okay. There we go. All right. So let's see. First thing, I need my walking foot on here because I don't like the way this will bunch up when you put the backing on. A walking foot kind of fixes that for you. And if you guys got that PQ 1600 and you're looking for a walking foot, I'm sure Sewing Parts Online has it. Just look for a high shank walking foot, okay? That'll fit whether it's the brother or the baby lock or the Juki or something. Oh, I got to take this screw completely out of this one. It doesn't have a gap for me to, I forgot about that. Oh, I hate this. Why can't it be easy? Why can't it be easy? Go on. There we go. Oh my goodness, that was difficult. It doesn't have the place where you screw the screw on does not have a gap in the metal. You're a little late this morning. Are you sick of winter? Oh my gosh, y'all. It's going to be hot today. We're supposed to have a high of 88. I live in South Texas. High of 88. And tomorrow's only going to be in the 60s. So that's Texas. It's supposed to be pretty cold tomorrow. Low 40s, high in the 60s. But today is going to be like summer almost. Okay. All right. And I unplugged the machine. I unplugged all my machines because last night I went to bed. And as soon as I laid down, I heard a big rumble of thunder and said, oh no, let me get up and unplug all of my expensive machines. So storming now in Missouri. Yeah. Y'all, it's just weather. It is what it is. Okay, let me get this stitched on here and then I can cut it off. I'm just going to stitch within like within 1/4 of an inch. Love my knee lift. If you don't have a knee lift, you're not living properly. All right. There we go. Perfect. That was easy. Yeah, knee lifts, that's the way to go for sure. I told my husband the other day, I said, hey, why don't we move to Phoenix? We've got family in Tempe. He said, no, why would I move there? I said, so when you die, I'm near family. His brother lives there with all of his kids. And my son's in Colorado Springs and it's cold up there. I don't want to go there. He's like, nope, we're staying right here in Texas. I said, okay. Sounds good. Plus, I'm getting a new pool, so I need to stay put, right? Okay. There. So using that walking foot, and if you guys get a machine, always make sure you have one. Look, it went on with absolutely no puckers or bubbles or bunches or anything. That is why, that's the whole purpose of a walking foot, to move the bottom fabric and top fabric at the same rate. Otherwise, you're pulling the bottom fabric through faster than the top, and that's why you get bunches and whatnot. But it turned out just perfect. Okay, there we go. All righty. So I am going to sew these together. And I'm going to put down one, well, we'll do the selvage edge. What the heck? We'll put down this edge face up and this edge face down. Okay. And when I do this, I go top left to bottom right. I'm going to sew a diagonal seam. You can mark it if you want. I usually use the diagonal seam tape on the bed of my machine, corner to corner. You can pin if you want. I don't. Why don't I move to Phoenix? That'd be great. I could be near Darren. Yeah, I know. He said he wants to get together again this maybe this fall, and we'll do something. I've got a shindig I'm setting up in California in October, so that'll be good. So you West Coasties will be able to hang out together a little bit. This is loud. I know. I didn't backstitch. All right. And there's my diagonal seam binding. So that's cool. Okay. Yeah, I would love an interchangeable walking foot. Brother came out with that Move It foot. That thing is big. I mean, it works well. It's fine. But it's big and bulky, and you got, you know, special screwdriver to screw it on or whatever. It's crazy. Let me turn this on. Get that hot. Okay. So I'm going to get this, I'm going to press it and press it in half. So I'll press my seam down and press it in half. You like that Move It foot? I know, those are awesome. Move It foot's wonderful. All right. So I'm going to let my Oliso iron here warm up, and I'm going to get this ready to go. Perfect. So the way the hanging triangle works, you guys, is you have the top, see the top of the bird up here? So this just fits up after you put the top on. This just fits up right inside. And see, since the block's going to finish at 6, and I made this 5, let me turn that white selvage to the inside so you don't see it. Okay. So you just stitch across right here on the top. Then you just need to you can take a little safety pin if you want, or you can hand stitch just a little bit at the tip right here and catch the backing, and you've created a hanging sleeve. Laura Koya did a video from So Very Easy on how to make these for large quilts. It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So it works great. All right. Let's see if this is hot enough now. All right. Oh, I've got that Things Above quilt right behind me. I need to get a couple more blocks done on that. I've got blog posts that got to go out. I've got to get an IOU for Jamie at Sew and Sale. Our Sew and Sailors, y'all should have gotten an email from Jamie at Sew and Sale telling you what to bring. If you didn't, check your spam folder, okay? Because he told me that he sent an email out to you guys. I was not on that email string, so I don't know what it was. Because somebody emailed me and said, what do I take on the cruise? I don't want to, you know, I don't want to bring too much, and I don't want to be missing something. That cruise is on May 24th and June 1st, I think. So we're doing back-to-backs. Again, poor Frito. I hate leaving Frito for 2 weeks at a time. I can't stand that. Ugh. By the end of the cruise, I'm bored out of my mind. I want to go home and play in my sewing room. It's fine. I enjoy being with you guys. 'Tis the life, right? Oh. I'm gonna, a little side thing here. My mom called, she's 83, she lives in Tennessee. She called in a panic last night. She said somebody's taking her house. She signed something online. She doesn't know with who. Some property management company. And they're telling her she's got to get out of the house, that she signed it over to them. And I looked at the company and it says they're out of the UK and they have I didn't see where they're operating in the United States. She could be confused. I don't know. If any of you have any experience in this, I told her, I don't think you can sign online and have that be legal. So she's got some young guy coming by wanting to buy her house. And she's going to go talk to a judge who's managing the paperwork. I don't know. She's in Tennessee. I'm going to call her when we get finished here. I don't want to wake her up, and find out what's going on. And my sister-in-law said, give Becky power of attorney. So I'm sure some of you have dealt with this with parents. I know it's against the law. It is a scam. That is a scam. That's what I told her. Yeah. I said, Mom, it's a scam. They can't legally do that. If you didn't go to a title clerk's office and sign, no, they're telling me I have to close on April 15th. I said, no, you don't. So my sister-in-law said, give Becky power of attorney. So I don't know. That has scam all over it. I know, you guys. And they like to steal homes from the elderly. And so I'm really worried about it. But anyway, powertoolswiththread@outlook.com is my email address. If you are smart on this kind of thing, I'd appreciate any guidance, thoughts, if you've been through it, what happened. Okay. I'm reaching out to my community because I love you guys and I know you're smart on these things sometimes. Okay. So I am leaving about an inch above at the top. I could go ahead and alert the police. I'm not entirely sure a crime has been committed. She mentioned some judge's name. I'm going to call the judge's office later this morning and find out if they know anything with her name on it. I don't know. So we'll figure it out. All right. So I'm going to sew this on at 1/4 of an inch. Okay. So I'm going to use the 1/4 inch seam tape, which right along with the edge of my presser foot on this walking foot is 1/4 of an inch. So you guys can see what I'm doing here. And I'm going to start this down here near the bottom. So I've left a little bit up here at the top open. I have about a 4 or 5 inch tail. I don't think I'm going to do a diagonal seam finish on this because I never do because it's just too small. This is the raw edge. I folded it in half, wrong sides together, and the raw edge of the binding is toward the raw edge of the quilt. I have a 1/4 inch seam mark right here on my sole plate, and I'm going to get the edge of the quilt right even with that. So I'm going to do a little back stitch and get the edge of the quilt right even with that, and then turn it to a 45 and sew off. Okay. And then I'm just going to fold it. And you can use the lines on your thing here. I've got this even with the measuring guide on the bed, the quilting table, and I'm folded this at a 45-degree angle against those stitches and putting that there. I'm just kind of winging this. On a quilt, I have a little plastic template that I use, but I'm just going to do this and fold it over. Okay. I'll go through and look back at y'all's comments too. It's frightening, you guys. She gets confused. She called me 3 times last night after 10 o'clock wanting to know what to do about this. I'm going to go forward and backwards, forward. Okay. Using a walking foot to put on binding helps to keep it from bunching up as well. All right, 45. Sew off. It's pretty quick. So, you know, and at her age, I tell her, won't the diagonal seam leave a lump when folded? No. Oh, it's not going to be a diagonal seam. Oh, on the one that where I put them together, it does not. No, not really. You don't see it. So I had to tell her I would have Keith handle it because she feels more comfortable if a man is handling stuff. And that's fine, even though I'll be doing everything for it. But I just tell her I'll have Keith talk to him. It makes her feel better. I told her if that young man comes by again, tell him she changed her mind. She's not selling. Okay. Okay. So it is, y'all. Okay. There are scammers and then there are property thieves, Debbie says. Okay. Yeah, I know. You know, her house, her payment is only like $350 a month on that house. It's an old house in a small town, and there is absolutely nowhere else she could live for that amount. That'll take her and her cat. So I'll be doing that today. Okay, 1/4 inch. Okay, now this is the last side. So I'm going to just get it to, I'm going to fold this back again and get this straight. So y'all, when I fold this like this, these edges, they're straight together. That should make a straight line between the quilt and the binding. You want to fold that on a 45 so they make a straight line. Okay. All right. So I'm going to fold this back over. I'm going to have to go back and look at y'all's comments. I hate to share personal online, but I wouldn't unless I needed the help. So like I said, I know Google tells me my average viewer is 60 plus. So I know that you guys have dealt with this. All right, I'm only going to go about 1 inch and I'm going to cut it off again. Back stitch there. Okay. So now I've got this opening. Let me see here. Okay. So I'm just going to take this end and I'm going to fold in, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch or so. And fold that over like that. I need that in there straight. I need my little straight edge, something thin. Oops. I like something thin. This is going to be a straight seam binding. Not even a seam. It's just, I'm just going to tuck it in. And I just like it nice and flat. So everything is smooth. Finger press this. Okay. So I'm going to press this down on with my iron real quick. Yeah, that's funny. Tell her to answer the phone. Benton County Sheriff Department. I love that. That's hilarious. All right. And then this one, I'm just going to trim it. So now I have a nice, clean, pretty edge right here. Okay, on this one, since it's folded in. And then this one, I'm just going to fold it over there, like that. And I just have a tiny little bit of binding left, okay? And just put this in, fold it in there nice and clean looking like that. On these tiny ones, it's almost impossible to get that diagonal seam finish. You can, but I don't feel like fiddling with it. It's just, it's very, my fingers don't like to do that. I just don't enjoy that at all. Okay. I want to make sure everything is lined up on the edge of the little quilt. Okay. Let's see. Okay. It was fine, and then it wasn't. Okay. There. All right. It's good enough for government work, y'all. All right, our hour is up. It is time to do the giveaway. Let me get this stitched. I'm going to pin it. Stop, watch. Okay. Okay, all done. I got a little tuck on the inside of this, and I bet you it, yeah, I got a tiny little tuck. You get a little tiny tuck right here, but if you flip it over, you don't see it. So don't freak out if that happens. Okay, you guys? All right. Good, good. All right, so last call, you guys. Power Tools, hashtag Power Tools for the mini layer cake. What did I do with it? By Layla Boutique for Moda. Okay, and yeah, so if you want to stick around, I'm going to finish this up. Okay, but the triangle goes on afterwards. I'm going to pin it on, and then actually I got to go. I can't stick around. So the triangle will go on just like this underneath that binding. Okay, there you go. Okay, thank you, Michelle. I see your note there. All right, what did I do? Oh, here it is. Okay, so we have hashtag Power Tools for the mini layer cake from Layla Boutique. It is Love Blooms for Moda, and hashtag panel for 2 of the things above panels. All righty. All right, here we go. So I'm going to do, let me stop this screen. Let's do the panel first, shall we? Okay, 453 entries for that. Let's draw. All right. What's going on here? Katie Naylor, congratulations. That's wonderful, Katie. Fantastic. Send me an email, powertoolswiththread@outlook.com, okay? And give me your mailing address or wherever you would like these mailed to you. And I'll be happy to do that for you. Congratulations. And thank you, Christy, for sending that to me to share with my viewers. I appreciate that. All right, Katie, good for you. Good for you. All right. One more. Oh, Kathy, you enjoyed the Snap-a-K project this week? Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad you enjoyed it. We like to do that here. Oh, next Thursday, before you go, I've got a link below. I need to show you guys what we're going to do. Oh, my goodness. I need to show y'all what we're going to do next Thursday on Embroidery Thursday. I totally forgot. Let me get this here before we go. I want to show y'all real quick. I've got a link to it. Let's see here. There it is. Oops, not that one. It is by Hoop Sisters. It's going to be adorable. So much fun. Okay, I've got it up. Now, real quick, one more time. Let me remove this. Stop that screen. Okay. I'm going to share with you next Thursday, Embroidery Thursday, and I have a link to this below in the description box. We're going to do Cinco de Mayo sentiments, they call them, at Hoop Sisters. So if you want to go grab this, this is going to be fun. We've got holy guacamole. You are awesome with a little avocado. Taco about a good friend. How cute is this? Oh my goodness. I love it. And you guys could even change up the sentiments down here. Happy Cinco de Mayo. I love it. And chip, chip, hooray. And look at the holy guacamole. It's a little place thing for your bowl. How cute is that? I love it. They also have a kit for it if you want. Okay. So the kit includes the designs and the fabric kit if you want. Okay. Or this has it on a CD, I think. And then this is the digital. The other one I showed you was the digital download only. So that'll be a lot of fun to do. That's super cute. All right. So let me stop sharing that. Okay. I love Cinco de Mayo. Any opportunity for Mexican food, I'm all over it. All over it. All over it. Okay. And so now we're going to do the giveaway for the mini layer cake. Thank you, Moda. Appreciate that. Love that. And let me do the right one. So Katie Naylor won the panels, and here we go. I'm going to share 921 entries. Ready, set, go. How fun. Yay. Today was a good day, huh? Let's see who the great day is. Francine Brown. Oh, that's a cute little cat, Francine. Is that a cat? That is adorable. All right, Francine, congratulations. Send me an email, powertoolswiththread@outlook.com, and give me a mailing address to send you the little mini layer cake. All right, you guys, thank you for spending your time with me. I really appreciate it. I love y'all. I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you for watching on replay. If you're doing that, be sure to give the video a thumbs up. All right. And if you're watching on your TV, grab that channel remote and hit the thumbs up, the channel up button on that. All right. We will talk to you soon. You guys go sew something.